Coolant, the cheapest liquid in your car. But if you mess it up, it becomes the most expensive mistake you'll ever make. Today, I'm exposing 11 coolant mistakes that literally destroy engines every single day. Some of these are happening in driveways, right now, as we speak. Let's get started. Mistake number 1. Mixing different coolant types. 'Tis one's the #1 killer. Mixing different coolant types can seem harmless, but it can actually damage a vehicle's cooling system over time. Each coolant formula has different additives, inhibitors, and chemistries designed to work with specific metals and seals. When mixed, these chemicals can react, forming sludge or gel that restricts coolant flow. This sludge can clog radiator passages, heater cores, or even the water pump, leading to overheating. Overheating risks warped heads, blown head gaskets, and expensive repairs. The safest approach is to always match the coolant type recommended by the manufacturer. If different coolants have already been mixed, it is best to flush the system thoroughly and refill with the correct coolant. Mistake number 2. Not bleeding air out. After refilling, air pocket is a silent killer. Not bleeding air out of a cooling system after refilling is a common mistake that causes major overheating issues. Air pockets get trapped in the engine, radiator, or heater core and block coolant circulation. Because coolant can't reach certain hot areas, even if the radiator is full. The temperature gauge might jump suddenly or fluctuate because sensors are reading air instead of fluid. Always use the correct bleed valves, bleeder screws, or designated fill procedures to purge all air. Skipping this step can lead to severe engine damage, even though everything looks full. Mistake number 3. Running plain water instead of coolant is a huge mistake that many people do because it seems fine in the moment. Water alone has no corrosion protection, so it slowly eats away metal surfaces inside the block, radiator, and heater core. It also boils at a lower temperature than proper coolant, so the engine can run hotter under load or in summer heat. In winter, water can freeze in the engine and crack components. Coolant also contains lubricants for the water pump seals, something plain water does not provide. Over time, rust and scale form, clogging passages and weakening the entire cooling system. Proper coolant mix is a critical chemical protection, not just a liquid to fill the system. Mistake number 4. Ignoring coolant level marks. Overfilling coolant adds pressure your system never needed. Ignoring coolant level marks on the reservoir is an easy way to accidentally overheat an engine. Those marks aren't just guides, they represent the volume the cooling system needs to operate correctly. Running the level below MEN means the system can draw in air, which causes circulation loss and temperature spikes. Running above max leaves no room for thermal expansion, which can force coolant out through caps and overflow. Many people only check when the engine is hot, which hides the true cold level. Always check when the engine is cool so the marks are honest and accurate. Respecting the marks is respecting the engineered pressure balance your cooling system depends on. Mistake number 5. Opening a radiator cap. When hot coolant is under pressure like a steam boiler. Opening a radiator cap when the engine is hot is extremely dangerous and should never be done. The cooling system is pressurized, and removing the cap can instantly release superheated coolant and steam. Pressure is intentionally used to raise the boiling point of coolant so it can safely run hotter than water. When you pop that cap, the pressure is gone and the coolant can violently flash boil. If you must check fluid while it's still warm, only look at the overflow reservoir, not the pressurized radiator. Mistake number 6. Using universal coolant without checking compatibility. Using universal coolant without checking compatibility is a shortcut that can cost you later. Not all universals are truly universal. Some only claim wide coverage, but still don't match the chemistry needs of certain vehicles. Some systems need OAT, some HOAT, some PHOAT, and some hybrids are extremely picky. Using an incompatible coolant can neutralize additives, reduce corrosion protection, or create sludge. Sometimes this damage shows up months later as clogged passages or heater core restriction. The safest move is to confirm the exact spec required by the manufacturer, then match coolant by that spec, not by color. Universal can be fine, but only if you verify that it meets the specific chemistry and standard your vehicle is engineered for. Mistake number 7. Skipping the radiator flush after overheating. In almost every case, you should not skip doing a flush after an overheat. Skipping the radiator flush after an overheating event is a silent mistake that often leads to repeated overheating. When coolant boils, additives break down, scale loosens, and contaminants get pumped throughout the system. If you just top off and keep driving, that debris stays inside the radiator cores, thermostat area, and small passages. As flow reduces, heat transfer drops, and the engine once again runs hot, sometimes even worse than before. Old coolant can also become acidic after an overheat, accelerating corrosion. A thorough flush restores clean flow and resets the system chemistry. After any serious overheat, don't assume a refill is enough. A proper flush is part of the fix. Mistake number 8. Ignoring the thermostat change interval. A thermostat is not just an on-off valve. It's a metered flow regulator. Ignoring the thermostat change interval can set you up for slow, sneaky cooling system issues. Thermostats are mechanical devices that open and close thousands of times, and eventually the wax pellet or spring mechanism weakens. A thermostat that sticks even partially closed will make the engine run hot, especially under load or on hot days. A thermostat that sticks open will make the engine run too cold, hurting fuel economy and causing poor heater output in winter. Because the thermostat controls the entire flow path, its failure can mimic dozens of other symptoms. Many shops recommend replacing it at scheduled intervals or whenever major cooling system work is done. Treating the thermostat as a wear item saves time, diagnosis, and money later. Mistake number 9. Using leak stop bottles as repair. Using leak stop bottles as a repair is one of the fastest ways to ruin an otherwise healthy cooling system. These products work by sending sealants and particulates into the coolant stream, and those particulates don't only go to the leak, they circulate everywhere. Heater cores and tiny radiator tubes are extremely small inside, and leak stop can clog them like concrete. That means weak heat, poor flow, and chronic temperature issues later. Worse, if the leak is from a head gasket or from a cracked tank, no bottled stuff will fix the underlying mechanical problem anyway. Leak stop is an emergency band-aid to get someone home or to a shop, not a fix. Real repair means finding why the leak happened and replacing the failed component properly. Mistake number 11. Neglecting the water pump warning signs. Neglecting the water pump warning signs is a common way small symptoms turn into catastrophic engine failure. The water pump is the heart of circulating coolant, and when its impeller wears or its bearings go bad, flow drops fast. Early signs include coolant seepage from the weep hole, a whining or grinding noise from the accessory belt area, or random sudden temp spikes under load. Many people ignore small leaks, thinking they're normal. But water pump leaks only get worse, never better. Once the pump fails completely, you can have instant overheating and potential head gasket damage. Always inspect the pump closely when doing belts or timing components. Replacing it proactively is far cheaper than repairing the damage from a cooked engine. That's all for this video. Coolant is not optional maintenance. If you get this wrong, your engine will die. Which mistake shocked you the most? Comment with your number below. See you in the next video.